Good evening. It is February the 27th, 2017. I mentioned back on Saturday when I made my weekly weather briefing that we would have the potential for some severe weather on Tuesday or Wednesday. Just so happens that we might see it on both days as these storms will begin to move in during the overnight hours on Tuesday night. Right now, things are calm. Temperatures are in the upper 50s to lower 60s. These temperatures will continue to lower a few more degrees into the mid to upper 50s throughout tonight, and then we will see those temperatures increase as those clouds and some precipitation moves into the area by tomorrow morning. So we are calm right now, but things will drastically change as we go into the next 24 to 36 hours as possible severe storms move in from the west and from the northwest. Let's go ahead and zoom out right now, showing you a look at some showers and thunderstorms that are already taking place in portions of northwestern Arkansas. This will continue to grow in size, intensity, coverage, and will begin to move off to the north and east into our neck of the woods. That way you will have to deal with some storms for your morning commute for tomorrow. With that being mentioned, let's go ahead and look at the convective outlooks from the Storm Prediction Center. This is showing you where they think severe weather is going to be occurring. This is the enhanced risk where you see all of this orange. This is the fourth out of the six categories that is on this risk scale. And so we are pretty high up there on the scale when it comes to the severe weather, according to the Storm Prediction Center. And you can tell that that is covering a good portion of southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, portions of western Kentucky, and even a good chunk of Arkansas. If we were to go ahead and look at Wednesday's outlook, it shifts off towards the south and east and is actually covering in a pretty good size of the eastern and southeastern United States. And you can tell that it is growing in size when it moves off towards the east as well. Usually you will see that as it moves off towards the east, whereas back in our area, the severe weather will be confined to a smaller region. Let's go ahead and look at some maps. This is going to be the Futurecast radar for what you can think the radar is going to look like going into the next 24 to 48 hours. This is starting us off at 3 p.m. this afternoon, so this has already occurred. But as we go into tomorrow morning, you begin to see a little bit of some shower and thunderstorm activity moving into our area. Some areas will not have to deal with this during the morning commute, but others will, so make sure that you keep that in mind. Large hail would be the main possibility for tomorrow morning. Now, as we go into tomorrow afternoon, this particular model is showing a few spotty showers and maybe some clouds around the area. I think that clouds will kind of depart tomorrow, not completely, but we will see some sunshine tomorrow. Winds will also be very gusty tomorrow. I will show you that here in just a second. But I do not think that we're going to have to deal with any showers tomorrow afternoon, late morning, early afternoon. I do think that there will be a lull in the atmosphere. A lull means that there will be a break in the atmosphere from this possible precipitation. Now, things will change as we go into Tuesday night. This is 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Still, this model is showing some scattered showers, but I'm thinking otherwise as we go into late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. Notice how we have a squall line beginning to produce itself across portions of the Missouri Valley and even portions of Illinois. This will continue to move south and east at a very fast rate, at about the same speed that you drive your car at. About 50 to 70 miles an hour is how fast this line will be moving off to the south. So if you were under a warning on Tuesday night, you will not have much time to seek shelter. So make sure that you are aware of that you will not have much time. You cannot sit and lag around and wait for the storm to come to you. You have got to go seek shelter immediately as soon as that warning is issued. You will have at least less than 20 to 25 minutes to get to your safe spot. What we're going to have to watch for is some of these isolated supercells that are forming right ahead of this squall line. Those are the ones that are going to be will have the most potential to form some tornadoes. Yes, that is going to be a risk tomorrow. All modes of severe weather will be available with us tomorrow. Damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes. Make sure that you have your weather radios turned on for tomorrow night. These supercells will continue to move off towards the north and east if they form at about 50 to 70 miles an hour. This squall line, I am pretty confident, will form. The question is these supercells. Sometimes they form and sometimes they don't. If they do, then we are going to have to monitor for the potential of some tornadoes. Let's go ahead and look at temperatures. They will also be very high tomorrow. Surprise, surprise. It's been a very warm February. Here's the peak temperatures for tomorrow at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures leveling off in the upper 60s to low to mid 70s. If we see the sun come out some, they could easily pop into the upper 70s, and I wouldn't be surprised if some areas get close or flirting with 80 degrees if that sun does come out tomorrow. I do think that we will see more clouds than sun tomorrow, but if that sun comes out, temperatures will be very, very quick to jump up there. Those temperatures still remaining very mild. We will probably set some records on Wednesday morning, record low temperatures, record all-time warmest low temperatures for Wednesday morning. And then we will begin to see that cold front sweep through on Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures will be falling throughout the day on Wednesday. By the time you're getting out of school, coming home from work, 3 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, and then by 6 p.m. those temperatures will already be into the 50s and lower 60s. So it will be quite cooler on Wednesday afternoon than it will be on Wednesday morning when you are going off to your destination. Here is the dew point values. This is showing you how much humidity is going to be in the atmosphere, and we are going to have summertime or late spring numbers on the charts for tomorrow. These dew point values are going to be in the low to mid 60s. Usually you just need low to mid 50s for severe weather requirements during the late winter time and early spring, but we are going to be well past that expectation, and we are going to be all the way up about 10 degrees more than what is required for some severe storms when it comes to moisture content in the atmosphere going into tomorrow. Those high dew point values will continue to pull ahead of the cold front and before that cold front moves through, and then when it comes through, drier air will be filtering into the region. Here's some winds for tomorrow. Winds are going to be very, very high. This is in knots, so make sure and keep that in mind. By the way, your key is down here, so this is the key that you need to pay attention to when you're seeing these colors. That way you know what these colors equal. Our winds will be peaking at Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. This is showing winds gusting to about 25 to 30 knots. So that means that winds are going to be anywhere really between 20 to 35 miles an hour with some gusts over 40 miles an hour. And so that means that we are going to have enough shear in the atmosphere. Shear is very high winds aloft, several thousand feet above your head. If a thunderstorm moves through and it has a strong downdraft, it will not take much for a thunderstorm to bring those winds to the surface. Winds right above our heads are going to be over 80, close to 90 miles an hour, and so it will not be very hard for those thunderstorms, if they have a strong enough downdraft, to bring those winds down to the surface. That is why damaging winds is going to be a very big and main key risk for tomorrow. Flooding is not going to be a very big risk. These thunderstorms will be heavy, but once they move through, they will be out of here. They won't be lagging around and producing those heavy rainfall totals. By the time we get to Wednesday afternoon, those winds are going to continue to be producing strong, and then as we go into late Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, those winds will finally be moving off. As we go into the surface-based cave, this is showing you how much energy is in the atmosphere. These thunderstorms need energy, of course, for them to do their business, and we are going to have enough energy for those tomorrow. Usually during the wintertime, you need about 500 to 700 joules or more, and we're going to be meeting those requirements as well. We're not going to have a substantial amount of energy. If that sun peaks out tomorrow, that is going to make the atmosphere even more generalized for that severe weather. So make sure that you keep that in mind. We are going to see those CAPE values peaking just to our west, but notice how even late through Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, we still do have some energy left over in the atmosphere. A lot of times with nocturnal thunderstorms, you lose the energy available for them during the overnight hours because you lose the daytime heating from the sun. But the sun is going to be coming out off and on during the day tomorrow, and it will be heating up the atmosphere and making sure that it is generalized for that severe weather going into late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. This is lapse rate values, and this is showing you pretty much how unstable the atmosphere is going to be. And the more unstable the atmosphere is, the more available or the more potential it has to produce severe weather. And this is showing you how fast the temperature is cooling from the ground to the upper part of the atmosphere. So from the surface to the upper part of the atmosphere. And the more steep that temperature gradient is, the more unstable the atmosphere is. So basically these numbers are showing you how fast the atmosphere is cooling the further you go up into the atmosphere. And we're going to have a pretty unstable environment if this model verifies if we go into late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. The thing about this event is that we're not really losing a lot of our key ingredients that we need for severe weather going into the late overnight hours for Tuesday night. A lot of times you lose these ingredients that you need for severe weather as you go into the overnight hours when you lose the daytime heating from the sun. But we're going to continue to see these numbers pretty high for this time of the year going into late Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. This is the Supercell Composite. So this is showing you basically on a rating scale down here at the bottom, seems like from 1 to about 48 or so, about how high the chances are basically of seeing supercells tomorrow. And this is showing some pretty high numbers also. Supercells are those thunderstorms that you have to watch out for when it comes to tornadoes, and we're going to be seeing some very high numbers even late into Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning, guys. Very high numbers still being produced on the models. This is the surface-based CAPE crossed over with the turning of the winds. So this is also an ingredient that you need for some tornadic activity. You need turning with the winds in height. So you need the winds to be spinning or turning. You need winds to be coming out of different directions the further you work yourself up into the atmosphere, because that produces spin in the atmosphere. And this is showing you 3 different barbs, one coming from the south, one coming from, these are different directions as you work here. These are different levels in the atmosphere, representing different levels in the atmosphere, and all 3 of these are indicating that we're going to be seeing some turning with the winds in height. The red is the lowest in the atmosphere, so winds will be coming out of the south tomorrow, and then you begin to see those winds increasing as you go up into the atmosphere, of course, and they will be coming out of the southwest, and then as you go into even higher up in the atmosphere, those winds are going to be coming out of due west. And so that is a 90-degree spin in the atmosphere when it comes to the winds, and that is going to be a very key ingredient also. So guys, I don't know what else to tell you if you don't like storms. The ingredients are coming together for severe weather tomorrow. Please have your weather radios turned on and ready for tomorrow night. These are going to be nocturnal thunderstorms. You will be sleeping when these come through. Please have a source. I cannot stress to you enough. We have already seen one tornado in the past year produced in our region. We've seen the damage. We've seen what they have done and the lives that they tear apart. Please do not be one of those lives. Please be smart and just watch the weather. Be weather aware going into Tuesday night, even if it means that you have to pull an all-nighter. It's more. That's better than. It's better to be safe than sorry. So please be weather aware going into Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning, and hopefully this event will not be as bad as some of these models are showing.